Miami accused of harassing a woman to abort Diddy's baby in new assault lawsuit. So what's going on, Coast?
So basically, what's going on is another woman has stepped forward with a lawsuit against Diddy. She's going civil. This one isn't going criminal, but a lot of people say they already know who this John Doe is. So allegedly, this lady is saying that she's been messing with Diddy since 2020 when they met overseas, and then she said she met him. He was a nice person. Then after
Is that
that,
when he's going by love?
exactly, she's
Call
going
me
by love. Then it shows here back. Then it shows
I
here in
love doctor.
2022. Diddy blew her phone up, got her to go on basically another trip. This time when she went on a trip, he gave her some funny tasting water. Next thing you know, she passes out. She wakes up with bruises on her legs and ankles. Basically
Gave
to
her
the
that
point where she
Molly
turned
water.
purple and she had
What?
bite marks on it. It wasn't. She said it wasn't. She was confused. I mean,
She got abused in Mike Tyson?
basically said she got abused. She got Mike Tyson. She said it was a lot of times where like Diddy would basically bring other people to the room, men and women, and she
You
didn't
ever
want.
wake up and not know where you at? When's the last time that happened?
That's why I had to stop drinking Four Locos. Ain't gonna
Hey,
get me.
hey, you give my Coast a couple buzz balls, he'd be
Hey,
buzzing off.
nah, let me stop playing. But she says that, I mean, with all this going on, with basically her basically talking to Diddy, going through these situations where times where like he basically drugged her and had his way with her, she still came back, which is crazy. And the reason why she said she came back, she said that since Diddy recorded, she felt like Diddy was finna blackmail her, so she couldn't really keep a job. Then on top of that, the way that Diddy was giving her allowance really also enabled her not to get a job. So she's blaming Diddy for all that. It's Diddy's fault that she didn't want to keep.
Allowance is basically trafficking, which she's also getting accused of, and it's the thing because it's like you can't be paying women just to bada bing, bada bang, and it's like if you have them travel, that's considered trafficking.
Exactly.
If
And
you have them going state to state,
this is exactly why he in trouble. This is exactly why he in trouble. That's why he get the racketeering charging, the S trafficking charging, and that's where you see his lawyer on TMZ talking about, oh yeah, we got this. He orders the baby oil in bulk, and got
oh,
everybody laughing. But it's funny how that is going on, and like everybody's only talking about the baby oil. They're not really talking about like all the victims and everything. But we're gonna see how that court
at
case.
least he used baby oil.
You can see how that court case
No,
goes. But
that's not right.
more information on Young Miami. The lady's alleging that Young Miami has been was calling her phone, blowing her phone up, basically demanding and telling her to get a bore on the
Bora
baby,
Bora.
get a bore on the baby, that she shouldn't have it. And I mean, the lady said she didn't do what Young Miami said, but she did end up having a miscarriage, unfortunately. And then once that ended up happening, she didn't talk to Diddy for 3 months. And then later on in 2022, Diddy started blowing her phone up again because he wanted to see her, calling her up on different phones until she agreed to go on a trip with
What's
him.
up, shoddy? What's
Hey,
up, shoddy low?
that's what he was doing. So it's crazy.
But she's like, but I felt bad for him, so I answered the phone and I went on a date with him.
Yeah, I went on I felt bad for him. I finally answered his phone call, and he said he wanted to take me to Turk and Caicos, and
That's my favorite spot.
that's my favorite spot. They got this and they got that. And
What's crazy is like people should never do bad things, and conduct that is bad should be punished. But what is weird sometimes in these situations is like when, especially even like the Cosby, where it's like this one girl was like, "Oh yeah, like he drugged me over the course of 2 years," and it's like, "So you knew he was drugging you?" And she was like, "Yeah." When it's like, "But you kept going back." She's like, "Yeah." He was like buying me gifts and like getting me all these opportunities. I wasn't gonna pass up on that. And they're like, "You didn't report anything?" Like,
it's like, no, I was scared, I was afraid for my life, and it's like you're telling two stories here. Like, yeah, I understand you're scared for your life. He might do all this other stuff
you know
to
what?
you.
They want their cake and they want to eat it too.
Exactly, that's what
They
it
want
is.
to basically extort, and then once enough times pass, they want to say, "Oh, I was only getting extorted because I was brainwashed," which is another form of assault.
Basically,
But it's all bad, which is probably true. Because I mean, if you throw enough money at a situation, you can almost brainwash anyone. And
yeah,
when you're that rich, you're like, do you want to go back to living in your little apartment that you could barely fit three people in, or
morals.
do you want me putting 250K in your account every month, where basically life is nothing but whatever you want.
True. I mean, yeah,
And the Cosby was Cosbying.
true. And a lot of people are always gonna take the money no matter what. Like morals always go out the window when there's enough money on the table. And I mean, it's just sad and it's just sick
That's what you
how
see.
yeah, it's sad how sick how like you can go through a relationship and like you'll be with this person for like in her case like 4 years, and like you say Diddy was doing all this stuff for you, but at the same time he was giving you an allowance, so you was kind of taking it and you seen abuse.
Well, I think it's crazy. I think like that she also allegedly was also maybe going to be a part of this because she was kind of a part in getting other people to be involved and kind of what was going on and bringing other people in, almost being like a co-recruiter.
True.
And it's like to you almost get a pass for what you did. You want to say that you were almost brainwashed or manipulated, so you're a victim. You're actually not another aggressor. So I think she's might be just like trying to possum her way out of this, where she basically play dead. Like I was the one abused, I was the one taken advantage of, I was the one that had my brain messed with.
Stockholm syndrome or something like that.
Yeah, like I wasn't. I had I was going along with it for whatever reason, but it's because he made me.
True. And then
trying to avoid accountability.
And then on top of that, you see the way that Young Miami talks about it online. She calls it like, "Oh yeah, you miss nasty girl, you miss freak." So if she's saying all this stuff, like ain't no telling what you was doing. Like ain't no telling what you was really doing at these parties. Because if she's calling you a nasty girl and a freak and all this stuff, that means you was with some stuff. So it's like.
She's a very freaky girl.
Yeah, so it really like comes to me like
don't bring her to mama.
Horrible. So it's really like to me, it's like, well, how much?
First you get her name.
Like with me with the whole Diddy case, it's like how guilty is guilty? How guilty is Diddy? Because if you went to Diddy party once or twice, I give you that. But if you've been to Diddy party 5, 6, 7 times, you've been messing with for 5, 6 years.
Like, I was trying to save people, but then I eventually just became part of the crowd.
Exactly.
It's not my fault.
It's Diddy's fault. He gave me he had all this alcohol out here. But you knew the alcohol was tainted.
Oh, it's crazy. You know how we joke like Diddy had the honey pack or baby
the dildos
oil
and the baby oil.
You took it too far.
I'm just saying.
No, but you ever seen those people on like TikTok or Instagram where they make the short videos where like, oh, this is a gas station coffee drink, where you get like all the contents in a cup and you put it in it. Someone had like the Diddy drink and it had like the honey pack came with it. And it was like you pour in Gatorade, you pour in like 2 shots of what was this alcohol? Ciroc. You get like 2 of the Ciroc mini bottles and a honey pack, and you mix it all in. And that's like the Diddy drink at the gas station.
I remember people pouring honey packs in Casamigos.
Sounds like you were at some parties.
I mean, hey man, people get litty. I mean, but I mean, not with Diddy. Diddy parties was crazy. Like the way they was talking about Diddy parties, like he was giving people bags of money at the end of the party, which was also wrong, which is a crime.
Having them sign NDAs.
Which is he was doing it. Have people sign NDAs.
I heard people say if you sign an NDA, if it's a crime, like you can not follow the NDA. But I'm like, can you? Or I thought that's like the whole part of the reason that.
It don't make no sense. The police and the feds make up their own rules. It's like, yeah, this is a crime. Like you can have you can smoke marijuana, you can smoke weed, but once it passes this number, it's a crime. But if it's federal, then you really can't have none of it at all. So it's like, it makes no sense. Like you see people selling growing plants and everything in Colorado, and you see like you read the law and you be like, oh yeah, it's legal, but every now and then the FBI they'll randomly raid your place and burn your whole crop circle just because you're not supposed to have it, but statewide you can have it.
I've heard of that. I've heard of people like getting caught up over there and then moving over here. Once they get caught up,
it don't make it because it's just they FBI runs by their own rules and they do what they want to do. Like with the whole Diddy situation, like the girl, like the state legal age is like 16 to 17.
Where's Christian Combs? He needs to be in jail too.
Christian Combs is in trouble too with the whole little boat situation. They got the whole little Diddy family in it. Man, this whole Diddy situation is getting crazier and crazier.